Welcome back to the Cast Iron Babe. I'm Julianne and I have a question for you. Have you ever used lavender in a recipe? Well, I have not, but today I'm going to be doing that for the first time because we are going to make lemon lavender pound cake. Got the recipe right from our Lodge cast iron cookbook. So we're gonna be using lots of delicious lemon zest and fresh lemon juice, and there's even an ingredient that might surprise you. So let's make those babies. First, let's start with our ingredients. We have 2 fresh lemons, which we are going to zest and juice. Then we have a cup of superfine sugar, 1.5 cups of sifted cake flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of dried lavender. Yes, dried lavender. We have a 1/2 cup of butter, 3 fresh eggs, a 1/2 cup of room temperature sour cream, and then 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Now let's get started. Now, you may not have a zester at home. If you don't, you can actually use a little mini cheese grater. One of the reasons that you want to use fresh lemons for this recipe is that it really gives it that zip and that tang that you're looking for as it pairs with that lavender. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. So let's talk a little bit about cake flour. And what you want to know is that when you are using cake flour, you want to sift it before you measure it. Otherwise, you're going to end up with too much flour in your recipe, and that would not be a good thing. Now that we have this sifted, we're going to measure it out and we're going to start mixing all of the ingredients together. I cannot wait to see how this tastes. All right, we've got our oven set to bake at 325, and while that is preheating, we will take our next steps. Now it's time for us to prepare our mini cake pan. This is Lodge's mini cake pan. It is literally my favorite cast iron pan, and the reason is that I can do so many recipes ahead of time and refrigerate them, pull them out, throw them in the microwave. And the other thing is that if I do like an egg dish, we can add the egg mixture in here, and then people can add their own toppings, and we bake it, and then we can refrigerate it later and throw it in the microwave, and you'll end up with some egg bites, and everybody's gonna be happy because they get to choose their own fillings. So now that this has been greased up with some vegetable oil, I'm gonna put a little bit of flour in it since we're doing a cake, and then we're gonna be ready to start mixing our ingredients. Now that our oven is preheating and our pan is prepared, we're gonna start by mixing our sugar and our lemon zest. So we're gonna get those going on low. Let's bring it in so you can see it mixing. Next, we're going to mix together our cake flour, our salt, our baking soda, and then our fresh lavender. And what I'm gonna just mix these together with my whisk. And then we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, now that our butter's in there, we're gonna whip it. It's on medium right now. Come take a closer look. I wanna keep the sides, I wanna be scraping the sides. And I'm gonna whip all this together. It's gonna be delicious. Creamy butter, sugar, and lemon. I'm gonna go medium on this until it's well blended. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. Now I'm gonna be adding the eggs one at a time, and I'm gonna increase our speed just a little bit. You always wanna add your eggs when you're doing cake one at a time. Get that one's blended in. Let's go to egg number 2. Really get those nice and blended. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. When we get that fully blended, we're gonna add some of our dry ingredients. We wanna make sure that we're really scraping down the sides of this, and then all at once, we're gonna add our dry ingredients. And then we're gonna get this all set, turn this on low, and hopefully it won't kick up flour, but if it does, it does. Okay, and now we're gonna mix those together, and we're gonna add our sour cream. Get all that out. And our lemon juice. And then we've got, last but not least, our lemon extract. I'm gonna turn that on high, and we're gonna mix those around really well. Again, we wanna keep scraping if we need to. All right. Now that it's all mixed, we're just going to evenly pour it into our mini cake pans. Now, if somebody is not into the whole lavender thing, you could actually slice up some strawberries if you wanted to put those in, or you can just leave the lavender out altogether. For today, we are going to have lavender. Okay, you can see the little chunks in there. Look at that. Okay, I think we are just about ready to put these babies in the oven. Now we're gonna put these in for 20-25 minutes. Set the timer for 20 minutes so you can check it then. And I have a feeling these are gonna be amazing. Okay, now it's time. Take them out. Just barely golden on top, but they're brown around the edges, so it's time. Take them out. It's gonna be delicious. Oh, how I wish you could smell these. They smell delicious. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sprinkle just a little bit of powdered sugar. Don't have to do the powdered sugar, but I always like to have a little bit of zip on top. And then we're gonna, and that has a nice little lavender garnish. And now it's time to try one. What do you think? My mouth is literally watering right now. They smell so good, and they turned out nice and light, nice and moist. I'll try that. Oh wow. Really lemony. You can definitely taste that lavender in there as well. And they're really super light. So another way that you could serve these if you wanted to is to put some raspberries with them. But I think I'm gonna have another bite. Give them a try, let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next episode of Cast Iron Babe. Bye-bye.